So after JBL gets laid out, they bring Lawler in the ring, and they're going to, clearly they're going to assault Lawler, but Bray Wyatt talks and talks and talks, and finally he says, I just want you to know, I didn't want to have to do this. He goes to give him Sister Abigail. I knew he wasn't taking a bump. It just wasn't going to happen. They're not going to let Lawler take bumps ever again in their ring. I would be shocked if he ever takes a bump, let alone wrestles a match in WWE after the heart attack deal. They're just not going to let it happen. So before he could get the move off, Cena runs down to the ring, as only Cena can. I always enjoy it when Cena runs to the ring. It's high comedy. He slides in, he gets beaten down. And they're prying his eyelids open. They want him to see what's going to happen. Did you see some of the faces Cena was making when they were holding him and they were prying his eyes out? I mean, what this guy, his facial expressions are ridiculous. For a main event guy, his facial expressions are the dirt worst. It's like, and there's pictures online that people took, still shots of him like sticking his tongue out. He looks like a monkey. I'm like watching this going like, what are you, a baboon? Like what's wrong with you? Who makes faces like that? John Cena does, apparently. Just took me out of the moment. The Usos ran out to make the save when he was going to try to lay out Lawler again, so that's when it broke out into a brawl. Lawler was rescued. Cena got on the mic. Actually cut kind of a passionate promo for a change and cut the comedy out. Told Bray Wyatt that Payback is a bitch. I think it would have been cool if he would have added, and so is Sister Abigail at the end there. And then just cut back and show Bray Wyatt all angry on the outside. But they didn't do it. Here's an honest question for all of you. I want to throw this out there to you guys. Because I'm watching these shows when Cena's teaming up with the Usos, or the Usos are coming out to save him. And, you know, they've been trying to give the Usos, I guess, a rub by associating them with Cena. And the Usos are already very popular. Okay, they don't have a problem, I don't think, getting over with the fans. The fans love the Usos. Most fans, anyway. But my question is this. Do you think the Usos pairing off with Cena these past few weeks have done more to help or hurt them? I know why WWE is doing it. And you would think that putting them with him is a good thing. You know, again, it's giving them a rub from the biggest star on the roster. But I would argue it's actually done more to hurt them than help them. People just don't like John Cena. And it's an irrational hate. Again, I don't hate John Cena. I'll make fun of him because he just does some stupid shit that he should be called out on. A guy in his position, you know, should know better than to make stupid, silly faces in the ring and, you know, agree to go out there with whatever they script for him and do bad comedy that isn't even funny. You'd think at some point he would put his foot down. But there's a lot of people who just don't like the guy. They want him to die, to get hurt, to go away, all these awful things, and it's terrible. I mean, it's an irrational hatred that people have for this man. And then there's a different set of fans who don't irrationally hate the guy. They're just bored of him. He's stale. He's been around. He's been on top for 10 years, 11 years now. And that's a more valid argument. You could say, okay, Cena needs to be phased down, kind of like he's been a little bit in this feud, because we've seen enough. But because people don't like the guy, at least the fans who were the most vocal at the buildings, is that hurting the Usos? Again, like I said, the Usos were doing just fine before they linked up with the guy. So I wonder if some of the reactions that they've been getting, because they still get good reactions, but I've noticed a smattering of boos, some places more than others. I've noticed that. I don't know if anybody else has, but I've noticed it. And I wonder if they're doing any harm to the Usos by associating him with a guy that people just don't like.